Hello and welcome to the world of pride. And I am your host, the one and only Kippy Love. Yeah, I not really Chinese, but I pretend I am for this video because I'm going to try some sushi. Or maybe that's Japanese. Hi. I can never get them. I don't know. But anyway, I went to Kroger today and I bought 3 different kinds of sushi. One sushi is a cream cheese roll, salmon with brown rice, and there's 10 pieces in it, 330 calories, and it was $8.99. And then the next one I'm going to be trying is the spicy roll, tuna with brown rice, 10 pieces, 290 calories at $8.99. And they slid down. Oh no. And then the last one I bought today was the crunchy roll, imitation crab, I wish it was real crab, 10 piece, $6.50 at $9.49. I don't understand why this is more expensive. It's the same size, 10 pieces and everything. And imitation should be less. You know, real stuff like salmon and tuna ought to be more expensive. But for dollar, almost, 50 cents more just to have imitation crab, which isn't even real crab. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and pop these bad boys open. And I'm going to take a picture of them up close after I get them out of the container. Alright. Now they do have soy sauce, which I'm not going to be putting any soy sauce on them right now. I'm going to basically take those soy sauces out of the package because they're all mushy anyway. Now there is a little bit of a hot stuff, the wasabi, but most of the wasabis that you get in America, because wasabi is really expensive, you basically are getting horseradish with the color, and it makes it look like it's wasabi, but it's not really real wasabi. But anyway, I'm going to go with the cream cheese one first, and of course it's what it looks like up close. You got a little sesame seed or black seed or whatever it is on top. There's your cream cheese is the white part, and then and of course I said the salmon is the pink meat there. So we're going to try a bite. It's hard to get good help. We got our yard ladies out there today. The woman, don't tell her I call her yard lady. Well, I could taste the cream cheese in there. The rice was good. And, boy, that was quick. Okay. Well, head over there and then do whatever you want to do until your mom calls you for dinner. Alright, and that was pretty good. Salmon is hard to tell if it was salmon or not because, it's such a small piece, all that rice, and I could get the cream cheese because it was creamy. But as far as, being able to tell exactly if it was salmon meat or not. You know, it's hard to tell because, you know, usually if you get a big piece of salmon, you know, with rice on top, stuff like that, we get more meat, then yeah, it's pretty easy to find out. Here is the spicy one. I'll go ahead and pick it up without it, hopefully without it tearing apart. They put them in here so packed together. And this guy, they all have, what do you call it, what do they call that? I know what it is. It's seaweed. Yeah, seaweed. And this one's got the spicy, and it's got the tuna in there, and you can see, just barely see the tuna right there. It's a little tiny bit of meat. The sauce was not as spicy as it could be. It was a little kick to it, but it wasn't like what I would consider spicy. It was maybe a mild spice sauce. The tuna wasn't as fresh as it could have been. I could tell, you know, tuna, you know, when it's got a kind of a fishy taste to it, that's when it gets kind of past its prime. When it actually tastes like tuna, you can tell the difference between tuna and tuna that's starting to go. You know, the due date on it was sell by the 31st. But still, you know, it wasn't made fresh today. It was like yesterday, I think, when it came out. Because usually they do a sale on Wednesdays, and you have to be there by a certain time. And I was before that certain time, like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, they go on sale because they've been sitting out there in the refrigerator all that time, and you know, and then they give it a sale. Well, now we're going to try the imitation crab and the crunchy one. And it's got, looks like the same kind of sauce on it. The crunchy is, I think it's got a little onion or something on there, because I can taste the onion. It does have that imitation crab meat inside of it. It looks almost like real crab, but you know, they can fake it anytime they want to. Imitation crab tasted like imitation crab. It tasted almost like crab, but it was imitation. I could tell. It did taste a little bit better than the tuna did. The sauce was a lot more apparent. You know, it was a lot more flavor to it. Yeah, the crunch on top is actual onion, you know, pieces that you put on top. You know, they crush them a little bit. You know, the what do they call that? The oh man, I forgot what they call it now. The not funyuns, but the onions that you get during the holiday for the top of your beans and stuff. That's about what the kind of onions are. And they crush them up just a little bit and sprinkle on top. The going through them all, I would have to say the tuna was very apparent. It did stand out the most on the spicy roll, more than the spice stood out. Should have been spicy and tuna at the same time. It was not very spicy. It was more like a. Let me see if I can get just a little bit of the flavor of it and see if I missed the spice or not. It was like a weak, has spice, but it's more of the like flakes, like, you know, maybe red pepper flakes or something like that, where they put a little bit of flakes in there with the seasoning. The sauce is very mild. I mean, it's like almost like a mayonnaise looking ranch dressing, or a Thousand Island. You know, it looks like a Thousand Island dressing, but it's more tasty of a mayonnaise. The tuna, like I said, wasn't as fresh as it could have been. The spice does have those little, you know, pepper something in it to give it a little bit of a kick. You know, you can get a little crunch every so often, you know, when you get it. The salmon, I would have to say I like the salmon one a little bit better, because the cream cheese was cream cheese. You could tell it was cream cheese. It was good. The rice was good. Everything went together. I just wish the tuna or the salmon would have been a little bit better in flavor. It would have stood out a little bit more. Probably if there was more of the salmon instead of all the rice and everything that was around it, you know, would have probably been better. But I would have to say the real winner, though, was the crunchy roll, the imitation crab, because it did taste like crab, even though it was imitation. And there was a little onion flavor in there from the crunch on top, and the sauce was kind of a sweet, sourish kind of sauce, and that one tasted the best out of all of them. So I would have to say, like I said, the crunchy roll imitation crab, which was a little bit more expensive. I probably paid 50 cents to get better flavor. You know, but the imitation crab should have been real crab if I was paying extra money. And then the cream cheese, yeah, it did stand out. And then they said salmon was like be in the background. The spicy roll, the tuna stood out more than the spice, so it should have been, you know, tuna roll with spice, you know, a little spice in there or something like that. But anyway, that's our video. And if you get a chance to go to Kroger, and you can find these same egg rolls in the I guess what they call the sushi roll, or the area where they make the Chinese section or whatever. You know, they're called Zen Shi or Zen Chi, handcrafted, you know, sushi. You know, they do a good job putting them together. They just need to get the flavors a little bit better, you know, and, you know, taste them once in a while. You know, have somebody like myself go in there and taste them, you know, like a head chef, and say, hey, yeah, it needs a little bit more spice in there. You put just a little crunch in there to give it a little kick once in a while, but it needs to be spicy. You know, same as the, you know, imitation crab needs to be real crab. You know, if you're going to put real salmon and real tuna in there, you need to put real, you know, whatever. But anyway, that's our video. Y'all have a possum day and a perfect tomorrow. We'll catch you at Scratching Post, where, like my sister says, you know what to do. Bye. I don't know. Maybe catnip egg roll? I mean, catnip roll, you know, with the rice and everything wrapped around it. And You know, even probably be better than the seaweed wrap. You know, put the catnip wrapped around it, and that would give it a lot more flavor, and you'd be able to tell it was catnip. But anyway, bye.